From the moment a bare shell rolls into the factory to the instant a finished car leaves for its new owner, the journey of the Tesla Model Y Juniper is a precise, highly choreographed dance of engineering and automation. We begin in the stamping area, where massive coils of steel and aluminum are unrolled, flattened, and fed into giant presses. Each press closes with a deep, rhythmic thump, shaping raw metal into structural panels, doors, floor sections, body sides, and reinforcements. Robots lift these hot-stamped pieces with effortless precision, stacking them in perfect alignment. Every surface, every hole, every mounting point is engineered so that later steps fit together with millimeter accuracy. From here, the parts move to the body shop, the heart of the structural build. What arrives as individual pieces of metal quickly becomes the recognizable skeleton of a Model Y. Robotic arms move in synchronized sequences, welding flanges, applying structural adhesive, and checking alignment in real time. For the Juniper version, updated body components are designed for improved rigidity and better integration with the battery and casting structures, so the body shop process is tuned to extremely tight tolerances. One of the most impressive stops in the tour is the casting area. Here, massive gigapresses inject molten aluminum into precision molds, forming huge single-piece castings for the front and rear underbody. Instead of dozens of smaller parts welded together, the Model Y Juniper uses these large castings to reduce complexity, weight, and potential noise points. As the mold opens, a robotic arm removes the glowing casting and places it on a cooling and trimming station, where excess material is cut away. Laser scanners inspect contours and hole positions, ensuring the geometry is perfect before the part ever meets the rest of the car. These castings then move to a marriage area, where they are joined with the central body structure. Spot welds, adhesives, and bolts tie everything together into a rigid safety cell. The roof rails, side frames, and door openings are all measured and verified by vision systems that compare the real structure to the digital model. If a panel is even slightly out of spec, the system flags it for correction, because precision now prevents issues later. Once the bare body is complete, it becomes what the industry calls a body in white and heads to the paint shop. First, the body is cleaned and dipped in an anti-corrosion bath that reaches every seam and cavity. After drying, robots apply primer, base color, and clear coat in a controlled environment where temperature, humidity, and particle counts are constantly monitored. Each Juniper body receives layers that are measured in microns, but those thin films provide deep color, gloss, and long-term protection. The body passes through curing ovens, and when it emerges, it has the mirror-like finish customers expect from a modern EV. While the painted shell cools, other parts of the factory are busy assembling the components that will make the Model Y come alive. In the battery area, modules of cells are arranged, connected, and monitored. High-voltage bus bars, cooling channels, and structural elements are integrated to create a pack that acts as both the energy source and a key part of the vehicle's structure. Every connection is tested electrically, and thermal management paths are checked so the pack can deliver performance while staying within safe temperature limits. In parallel, the drive units are being built. Electric motors, inverters, and gear sets are assembled with extreme cleanliness and precision. Compared to a combustion drivetrain, there are fewer moving parts, but the tolerances are no less demanding. The motor's rotor and stator are balanced, the gearbox lash is adjusted, and the inverter power electronics are tested under simulated loads. Each drive unit is spun on a test rig before it ever meets a car, ensuring smooth operation and efficiency. Now we arrive at general assembly, where everything comes together. The painted body enters the line and is placed onto carriers that move at a steady, predictable pace. Technicians and robots work side by side. First come wiring harnesses, laid through the cabin, firewall, and rear compartments. These harnesses are the nervous system of the vehicle, connecting sensors, controllers, lighting, and entertainment systems. Clips and grommets are positioned exactly so there are no rattles, no chafing, and no loose connections over the vehicle's life. Next, the dashboard, HVAC unit, and interior structural components are installed. Pre-built cockpit modules, complete with screens, vents, and control buttons, are lifted into place by assist arms that support the weight and allow human operators to position everything safely and accurately. Seats, center console, and interior trim follow, each snapped, bolted, or clipped into precise mounting points, designed earlier in the engineering process. One of the most critical steps is the marriage between the body and the battery and drivetrain. On a lower level of the line, the battery pack and drive units are positioned on a separate carrier. Above, the nearly complete body is lowered carefully. As the two meet, bolts are tightened in a specific sequence, torque values are measured and recorded, and high-voltage connections are locked in with safety interlocks. In a matter of minutes, the Model Y Juniper changes from a simple body shell into a powered electric vehicle with a structural battery and integrated drive system. Suspension components, steering gear, and braking systems are then added. Front and rear subframes, already pre-assembled with control arms and dampers, are lifted into position. Wheels and tires are mounted, and alignment systems adjust camber, toe, and steering center. At this point, the vehicle can roll on its own wheels for the first time, but the work is not finished yet. The car moves into the finishing areas, where details transform it from a machine into a product ready for a customer. Exterior glass is installed and bonded. Doors, hood and liftgate are adjusted so gaps are uniform and flush. Weather strips, seals and wipers are mounted. Logo badges, trim pieces, cameras and sensors are fitted and calibrated. Inside, floor mats, final trim, and software-configured features are completed. Technicians run quick checks to make sure every window switch, seat adjustment, and lighting element works as intended. Next comes a series of quality checks and tests. The Model Y Juniper enters a water test booth, where high-pressure sprays simulate heavy rain to confirm that there are no leaks. A dynamometer test simulates driving on the road while the vehicle remains stationary. The electric motors are run through acceleration, regenerative braking, and speed profiles. Noise and vibration levels are monitored. Software diagnostics run through dozens of control modules, checking for fault codes, sensor readings, and correct programming. Any issue sends the vehicle to a rework area where it is corrected before proceeding. Finally, the car is driven on a short test track or loop inside or near the factory. Here, trained drivers listen for unusual sounds, feel for steering or braking anomalies, and confirm that the car accelerates, corners, and stops exactly as designed.
Only when it passes these human and digital inspections is it cleared for delivery preparation. In the last stage, protective films are applied to sensitive surfaces, documentation is printed, and the configuration is matched to a specific customer order or inventory requirement. The vehicle's software is updated to the latest approved version, and the car is charged to an optimal level for transport. Then, the finished Tesla Model Y Juniper is carefully loaded onto a truck or rail car,
lined up alongside other vehicles heading to delivery centers around the world. What started as flat metal, loose components, and raw battery cells has now become a fully realized electric SUV shaped by engineering, robotics, and thousands of coordinated decisions. From bare shell to delivery, every step of this full factory tour reveals how the Model Y Juniper is built not just as a car, but as a precise product of modern manufacturing and intelligent design.